What are you the most selfish about? I want to read you guys' comments about this. I think it's a really interesting question. For me, it's probably my time. Sometimes I'm in a friendship or like in relationships in the past where someone expects me to sacrifice a lot of time for them. I remember I had one girlfriend way back when where she without asking me volunteered me to like play drums at some event or whatever, and I just had to do it because we couldn't take it back. And I think that was kind of the start of the end of that relationship even. And in a way that is kind of selfish. I also think maybe it was a bit selfish of her to volunteer me, but in her world that was just something that was like reasonable, that oh yeah, he's gonna help out with this. So yeah, I really am interested in selfishness and like what is categorized as selfishness. Another thing that I wish I wasn't as much is I really like to own things. So I like to kind of, own my YouTube channel. I like to own my music, for example. So sometimes it can take me a little bit longer than maybe is reasonable to involve other people in the creative process, because it's so much fun to feel like, oh, this is all me. I love this, blah, blah, blah. But it can also lead to kind of, not being as productive as you could if you were bouncing back and forth with someone else who had a stake in what you're doing. I think it's super underappreciated to have a partnership, like an equal partnership with someone. For a while running my YouTube channel, I was running it pretty much with Jonas. And that was probably the period of my YouTube channel that I enjoyed the most, because we would both kind of like feel really excited when things went well, and when they didn't go as well, it wouldn't. And I think over time, things might have progressed into more of a situation where the other people working with me treat it more like a job. And for me, it's more like something that's a passion. And, there's many reasons for that. But yeah. I think that's talked about a lot in music circles. Like you shouldn't, be too precious about your music, and you should compromise and all this stuff, especially if you want it as a job. And I totally subscribe to that. And yeah, I don't know. I'm really interested though in what you guys are the most selfish about. I'm going to do this thing that I do sometimes where I'm going to ask ChatGPT what some common things to be selfish about is. So let's see here. What are some common things that people are selfish about?
People often exhibit selfishness regarding resources, such as money and time, prioritizing personal gain over communal well-being. They might also guard information or knowledge, sharing selectively to maintain an advantage. Emotional support is another area. Individuals may seek it without reciprocating. Finally,
yeah.
recognition and credit for achievements can be a battleground, with some downplaying others' contributions to highlight their own.
I don't
These
do that.
behaviors, while seemingly protective of self-interest, can hinder collective progress and relationships. Anticipating and mitigating such tendencies could foster more collaborative and supportive environments.
Yeah, that makes total sense. There was a lot to kind of digest there. So resources is one thing. I don't think that's something that I've done a lot, like being selfish with resources. Almost the opposite. I think I tend to want to give everyone everything, and it can get not great for me. Emotional support is interesting because I've had this experience. I've been the person who kind of gives emotional support a lot. So for example, at one point I would have this one girl, just a friend, but just like a girl who would like kind of call me and just kind of dump a bunch of things on me. And I don't know, like it wasn't like I tried to call her and like dump stuff on her, but like I never reciprocated. And it just became this weird thing where she would just call me and like talk about how annoying her boyfriend was, or, I really felt like this weird beta person where I just listened. So eventually, I think this is on for maybe like a month or so. It would be like a few times a week she would call me and just give me all this negative energy. So eventually I just tell her like, hey, maybe you should talk to your boyfriend about this stuff instead. And she got the hint, so she never called again. But that was kind of interesting. It was like, but that was also weird. Like if you do have a boyfriend and like you have problems with your boyfriend, like just talk to them, I think that's kind of weird. What else was in here? Recognition or credit for achievements. And that's like, I never downplay other people's achievements, but sometimes I feel like I don't want to involve other people with stuff just because I can be like, I want this to be me. Maybe it's not even about getting credit. It's more like, I don't like compromising, especially with art. But I do think compromising is healthy and something that the best people at most things generally do to some extent, especially when it comes to, commercial things like commercial music or YouTube videos or anything like that. I just find it kind of fascinating. So yeah, anyway, guys, let me know in the comments, what are you the most selfish about? Is it resources? Are you selfish with money? Are you stealing money from your kids to buy snacks? I support it. Okay. No, but yeah, let me know in the comments and I might do a follow-up video where I'll read some of you guys' responses because I think this is interesting. I'll see you later. Oh yeah, by the way, we have a Discord, community Discord. I also started streaming a little bit again over on twitch.com/RoomieOfficial. No stream schedule yet, but I'm going to figure that out. I make some music. There's also a thing where if people tip, they can make me watch songs that they want me to see, stuff like that. And we do a lot of talking and interacting. So if you want to, head on over there as well. But again, in the comments, let me know what are you the most selfish about, and I might make a follow-up video. Okay,